Hi, everybody, and today we have Abdul with us, who is a computer science major and currently studying at Khalifa University in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. This university is part of the GE3, the engineering program, so it offers a multitude of classes for engineers and computer science majors in that area. But today, Abdul is going to talk to us about his current cultural experiences as a student in Abu Dhabi. So
Yeah,
you're in Abu Dhabi, right?
exactly.
All right. So how do you like it? How's it going?
It's been really good so far. I can say that some of the thing wasn't that shocking as I expected them to be that way because, as you know, Abu Dhabi and UAE in general, it's an Arab country, so definitely the Islamic culture, it's part of the daily lives. But I expected that. For instance, everybody here are in like the traditional clothes, even in school. They
Yeah.
called it Kandura. And then it's very easy to spot on like somebody who is not a local, like international students or study abroad like us.
How does the traditional wear look?
It is like I don't know how it's called in English, but I know they call it Kandura. So
Okay.
it's like the males they will wear like white, and then it's kind of like a big clothes from shoulder to your knees or like past your knees, and then
Ah.
with a white scarf, and the lady wear the abaya.
So have you ever like tried to wear it, or are you more in your own clothes? Are you not into that?
Well, even it's like this part of the school uniform, it's
Oh,
encouraged, but it's not like really, really strict. I don't wear it every day, but I wore it once and it was nice. And also wore it to go to the Grand Mosque.
that's lovely. Did you go to the Grand Mosque by yourself? Did you go with the school, with your friends? Was that kind of your own? Was that like a day trip you did?
No, I have like the mosque is not very far. It's kind of 15-minute drive from where we live. And I have a sweet mate who is from Saudi Arabia. So we pretty much do like most of the things together. And the benefits of that is that he's kind of like still in Saudi because they have like a lot of similarities with UAE, and he does speak Arabic very well. I'm also learning Arabic, but mine is still not there yet. A little bit of conversational level. Cannot hold like a very long conversation. So we do things together. So I went there with him. Then we also participated to a lot of festivals, which are really, really important here and big because it's kind of like a cultural showcase where they show different culture from different Arab countries, their clothing, to their foods, to music, to dance.
Wow.
Very beautiful festivals.
Do you know the name of the festival? The one that's like a showcase of different cultures?
Yeah, it's called Sheikh Zayed Festival.
Okay.
So it's really big, and then they would have different squares for like different countries. Wherever you go, it's kind of feel like in a new country. It's kind of imaginary new country. Welcome you with like musics and dance, and also you can get to taste the foods, tea.
Wow. Which one kind of sticks with you that you were like, oh, that was a really cool presentation of that country?
Definitely UAE because they
Yeah.
are in their own country.
Yeah.
They have, I think it might not be specific to UAE, maybe, but they have very good foods that I like. Chicken mehdi or mendi and lamb. That's I don't know how they make it, but it's so good. Since I came here, that has been my favorite food. I discovered that during the festival there, and also they have teas called karati. Yeah, I think it's from Pakistan. So good. I think UAE stick to my mind because they are in their country and they have a lot of advantage over there.
So you were talking in the beginning kind of about culture shocks. What was something you were expecting that you would be really uncomfortable or you would like it would be very different, but it turned out that you settled in really easily?
Since the cultural norms are also based on the religions, though a lot of people do things not because of the religion, it's just like culture for them, but it has its roots from the religion. I was expecting that separation between like males and females in public places, or like even in school, because I know like in Saudi Arabia, even in schools, like boys and girls don't take classes from the same classroom.
Yeah.
So I think I was mentally like ready for that kind of like shock. But then it's turned out to be more light than I thought. When you are like outside of UAE or like Middle East in general, and then you kind of think like everything is very radical, but it's not. It's really, really flexible. It can accommodate everyone. And what I noticed is, yes, it's kind of like unspoken rules. We would be going to school, even in the elevator, you would see like the female standing on one side, male standing on one side. You go to the classroom, nobody says, don't sit here. But then you would see like the female will arrange themselves on one corner and the males one corner. But sometimes when the place is really crowded, you find people mixed, and it's not like there is a strict rule like, oh, you shouldn't do this. You can definitely do anything with your classmate and female classmate, but it's part of the people culture to try to keep the distance. So I kind of expected that. I wouldn't say it was a shock. I think it's not a shock. It reinforced what I was thinking.
Have you had any difficulties with kind of making friends in the new culture, or was everyone trying to make friends? How did that go?
I don't think I have difficulties making friends. I think people are very, very welcoming, but some people are also maybe reserved or introvert. But when you go and speak to them, they're willing to do anything. They can they can take you around, like as long as you can speak and then you can ask them. They're really like welcoming and willing to help. One of my first days here, I was like in the restaurant just wondering. Then a guy just walked into me and then took me around, told me the different foods, the prices. And for me, I mean, that's very normal to them, but like for me, it's really beyond my expectations. In the US, you kind of learn to figure out things by yourself, right? You wouldn't see somebody and just approach him. It might happen, but it's not often. But it's kind of like normal. And also somebody walked me from the school is not that big, but my first day I didn't know where to take the bus and the map wasn't clear. And then just somebody just walked me to the bus station and the person was walking. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. And then with making friends, it's not been really difficult making friends. I've interacted with some locals, and even some of them offered to take us to Dubai, like with
Wow.
his own car, just unexpected out of nowhere. We just went to Dubai and then we came back. So like the people are really like open, and as long as you're taking the initiatives, they're willing to like support.
So who was it that you went with Dubai? Was it like a student or was it just one of the locals that you met?
It was a student,
Oh, okay. So how did that
but
interaction go?
we're not even in the same class, or like nothing in common. I just saw him and then we were at the elevator, and then I just said like, oh, your kandura look nice. And then that's how it started. And he's like, oh, where are you from? Because he noticed the way I speak or like the way I dress, like he can tell. And then I told him, hey, I'm an exchange student. And then he started talking like, oh, what is that? He didn't know apparently. Then I kind of like told him that I am coming from the University of Rochester to do one semester here. And then he was like a very open-minded person and curious. Yeah, and he just took me to Starbucks. Yeah, and then I chose my drink. And then at the end, he was like, no, 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 you don't pay. When they take you to like a place for to take like coffee or something that is not like very expensive, they wouldn't let you pay. Or sometimes amongst themselves, they'll be fighting, no, I would pay. It's
So
yeah.
is that like a cultural thing?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a cultural thing.
So you made friends with this person and then he kind of invited you to go to Dubai?
Yeah.
How did you get there? Like what kind of transportation did you take?
He has a car.
Oh, okay.
So
That's fine.
it's about like 115-minute drive from where we are, from Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is it's very conservative. Actually, when you get to Dubai, it's kind of feel like you are in a different country, because Dubai, I would describe it's not to the level of like New York City, but where you would meet like everyone. When you go there, you don't see like a lot of locals. Actually, they don't like living there because it's people coming there is like tourists, business people, and there are a lot of fun things to do there. So like the city is always like busy. like, and there's a lot of traffic. When you get there, you kind of feel differently because Abu Dhabi is a very conservative with its own social customs and norms, and with like the locals around, you kind of feel the culture. But when you go to Dubai, it's just completely new experience and very diverse and different people, and you see people from everywhere, and then there's no like such thing like a dress code or whatever.
Where would you rather study abroad? If someone asked you if you wanted to study abroad in Abu Dhabi or Dubai, which one would you rather choose?
I did one evening in Dubai, maybe but I think Abu Dhabi is good because it's very calm and it's the capital in Abu Dhabi. So everything you can find in Dubai, you will find it in Abu Dhabi as well for sure. It's not like it's very far. Like if you want to go to Dubai as well, you can go during the weekend. So I think if you are really like a city person, then you would probably go to Dubai. But then even like the universities, like there's NYU here, but it's in Abu Dhabi. It's not in Dubai. It's like the big university are in Abu Dhabi. So I think Abu Dhabi.
When you talk a lot about, when you meet your friends or you meet the locals, are you talking to them in Arabic or are you talking to them in English?
Actually, like I was expecting like when I came here, I would really get myself like immersed into like, Arabic because I took like two Arabic classes at Rochester before coming here. So kind of see like, wow, it's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna improve my Arabic. But then everyone speaks English. So like I know that they do understand English, they do speak English. If they see you and you are not local, they just start speaking English. So it's kind of different than what I expected. I bit different, but I like it as well because it makes the integration very easy.
If you want to practice Arabic do you try to speak Arabic to the locals or do you just like practice on your own in your room? Like, how do you get your Arabic practice in?
Well, my roommate also he speaks Arabic and he doesn't understand English very well. Sometimes he would start speaking English and say some word in Arabic, and then I would try explaining with the little Arabic I have as well in Arabic. Or like he will ask me, how do you say this in English? Then I would translate to him, or we both just let's Google it.
So he's your Arabic practice person.
Yeah, we all practicing. He's practicing English, then I'm practicing Arabic.
Is there anything that you do or you've done in your study abroad? It can be something small you do every day or something big, like a big trip or whatever you've done that has really impacted you, that you're like, yeah, I'll probably remember this for a very long time.
I think that is yet to come because I
Yeah.
have two plans. I'm going to go to Saudi Arabia and I will go to Mecca. I'm really excited and looking forward to that. Maybe that would
Wow.
be a big moment. And
Yeah.
also Qatar. So I haven't traveled outside of UAE yet. Went to Dubai and just explore around. Oh, also, I think I walked around Abu Dhabi. I didn't walk like the entire Abu Dhabi, but we walked around close to because it's kind of like an island close to the water with friends. We did like close to 7 miles.
Wow.
It's really small, and we said we're gonna like complete it one day, and it was really like nice to like see the reality of like the city because it's desert as well, but like where we are, you don't feel like it's desert. When you go around, it's like a different feeling. You living here where there is like a lot of trees, and then 90% of the times you are in indoor or 80%. So like you just basically breathing air conditioner. But when you go to the desert, it's feel different. The weather, the way things look, it's very different. So I think that walking was like a very good experience of like getting exposed to like the realities and also meeting locals and seeing how they live their lives. And then we went to another restaurant, and the restaurant was like really fascinating. They have two sides where they have tables and everything you can see in a modern restaurant, and another side where it's like they keep it traditional. When you go there, you just sit on the mat, and then they bring the food, and then you eat with your hands, and it's very decorated like a traditional style. So that was a really amazing experience.
So, aside from the dish you already told us, what kind of food do you like to eat when you go out to restaurants? On the more like traditional side.
Here is like when I try a food and I like it, I
Mhm.
kept on trying it, and it's definitely my favorite. I would say most of the time I still try rice with chicken mendi or like lamb. I'm afraid of trying as well.
Trying other things.
Yeah, like trying like other things because I might not like them as well. But then most of the time we are in school or I'm back in my dorm, so I would cook my own dishes. And also in school it's kind of rice, pastas, pizza, and some various Arabic food, which I don't know the names.
So, one of the final questions I have is you've talked a lot about the locals. Is there any one story you can tell me of like this was just like a random local person I met, but it really like impacted you when you were there? I know you talked about the first person who kind of showed you around, but is you can talk about that I feel like, but any one story that you kind of an interaction you had with a person, who was from there?
So I met that one guy. He was so energetic, more than the average locals. And then he just asked me like, "Oh, where are you from? Are you from Tanzania?"
Oh,
So in my mind, I guess like Tanzania must be the only country, in Africa. Then I just pretended. Then I just said yes. Then he's like, "Oh, I've been to Tanzania, and my dad is actually from Tanzania." I'm like, "Wow, I didn't expect this." And then he was telling me that he was born in Abu Dhabi, and then he lived most of his lives in Abu Dhabi. He went to school here. So if there is a culture that he relates more to, it's like the Emirati culture. Then I'm like, then you from here? Then he's like, no, I'm Tanzanian. I'm like, what do you mean? Then he says like, no, I have Tanzanian passport. I'm like, how long did you live there? Then he said like he lived there like less than a month, but he really liked the country. I'm like, wow, but you have Tanzania. Like, and then he said, yeah, because my dad is from Tanzania. Then I asked him, but why can't you get a passport, a UAE passport? Then he said like he's not a UAE citizen. Then he started telling me that no matter how long you live in UAE, you cannot get a citizen. The Emiratis, they are like really like small, and based on your name, they can know that if you're a citizen or not. So like there are like specific families. There are seven Emirates, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's come together and become United Arab Emirates. And those seven, it's kind of like used to be different families with different names. So they preserved it. So you can live here for 20 years. How long? You cannot get a citizenship. And that was something, I mean, it's something that I could have Google and read about, but I didn't know it. I wasn't expecting it because I thought it was like everywhere. And you can, if you live here, you can at some point also become a citizen. But even if you were born here, even if you get married to somebody from here, there's just no way. They will give you permanent resident or something like that, but not a citizenship. He was telling me that the Emiratis, the locals, they are just around 3 millions. And the rest of the peoples, yeah, just coming from like other countries. It was a discovery to me to like the UAE, how they really like want to preserve everything, but at the same time, how they are like open and then being welcoming.
so that
Yeah,
was just all from like one interaction with this guy.
yeah.
Do you have anything else you would like to say to someone who maybe was thinking about studying abroad in Abu Dhabi or who wasn't sure?
I myself, I wasn't sure if I really want to study abroad. So I'm a computer science major and business as well. My schedule was like really packed, and it never crossed my mind like to go abroad. But my friends went abroad, and then a lot of people I know around me went abroad, and they just all coming back and then telling like the different stories. And by the way, they went to like Europe that they have experienced, and they kind of encourage us that we still have time and we should go abroad, that it's really like a unique experience. So yeah, I didn't consider it until lately, like constant hearing about these things, it's kind of embed in your mind. At some point I guess like, okay, what is the cost of going abroad? What is the worst thing that could happen? And I don't see any major like issue. And basically anything that could happen worse could have happened at Rochester as well. So
Yeah.
I'm like, why not go abroad? And then I decided to, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go abroad. And then I started looking for different universities that offer the courses that I want to take. And I found Khalifa University. I really wanted to come here, and they told me like, you're gonna be the first person to be there. No student at the University of Rochester has ever been there. I'm like, yes, that's
Wow.
what I want. I want to be the pioneer. I've never like learned anything a lot about the Middle East. And when you are really like far away, you kind of have like your own perception of how things look. But for me, like thinking about it, I'm like, if I have the opportunity to still take my classes at the same time living there, living the experience there in person, why not? So I took the opportunity to come. And also for somebody who is thinking to coming abroad, I would say like anywhere you want to go, just give it a try. Like today is like it's like very easy for us to like think that we know everything about other countries or about other culture. Like we have the internet, we have like social medias, we see people sharing their daily lives. Even unintentionally in your mind, it's kind of like you already know how things are abroad, but it's never possible to learn about, let alone a country like somebody, a single individual. It's impossible for you to learn about them through just online or reading or watching their videos. Some things just need to be lived and really just see and learn from them. And that's one of the things that I realize here. And going abroad really allows you to not only learn about the countries, but also like realize certain things about yourself. When you were outside, you were looking at different culture, then you come in and live in and talk to the people, and you kind of position yourself where they are. That would have been your normal if you have been here. So you kind of realize that there are differences in terms of culture or like how people do things, but actually there are more similarities to like the individual, to the people, because it doesn't take long for you to connect. And that's when you realize the differences are just superficial. The common things that people share as humans, it's really a lot. And I think that will really like remove a lot of bias towards like, certain countries. And it's an opportunity as well for you also to like allow other people to learn about you, about different people, because some people here as well, like they never like go outside of their country, and them like you hearing certain things from you, it's completely different. They wouldn't have thought like, this is like, possible or anything. So I remember it's like my Saudi roommate asked me like, "Oh, how is it in US?" And then I was telling him like how the dorms are, like, our dorms are not like very separated, because here it's not only we don't live in the same dorms with the girl, we live in a separate campus.
Wow.
So I was telling him like, in the US it's not like that. So in the dorms you can have like, girls in the next door and you have your door here. And he was so shocked. And I'm like, what is shocking about that? But then I'm like, wait a minute. I asked him like, how is it in Saudi Arabia? Then he's like, I don't have any girl number in my phone. I've never talked to a girl except my sister. Then
Wow.
then I'm like, okay, if I was in your place too, saying that like you can live in like, same like building with girls would be shocking to me too. So
Yeah.
I, I understand, but you kind of learn to, that's just one of many examples, to see things through their lenses. And they kind of also learn to know that, the world doesn't limit it to where they live only. There is much more outside, and there are like a lot of like differences, but despite all those things, we all still humans.
Thank you so much. I hope you have, it sounds like you're having a wonderful time. I hope you have a great time in Abu Dhabi, and thank you so much for all your insight. Any last words?
I can't emphasize how like it is good to just be abroad to just learn things. You can read a lot, you can watch a lot, but living it's different, and you have your own experience. As I said, you don't need to be told certain things, you just need to live them and see how it goes. And last thing I would probably say is this quote. The author name is Augustine. And he said like the world is like a book, and those who don't travel only read a page. So you get the opportunity, travel, to not only read one page of the book, read it all. Actually, when you travel, like I have been to like South Africa before coming to the US. Previously, I've been to Guinea, Ivory Coast. Traveling now and like seeing like people differences, you kind of at the end you realize like yes there are differences, but probably it's kind of like a book, it's talking about the same thing. We all have like, a lot of things in common that still make us like humans. And I think like those experiences are things that even if you read it, you hear it from people, it's never gets into your mind, or you never really deeply believed it until like you kind of live these different experiences. So I would encourage anyone that's had the opportunity to just take it and go for it.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Again, I know it's night over there, so I hope you have a good night and have a great time in Abu Dhabi.
Thank you so much.